trustee for Dallas ISD District 3, and I represent East Dallas, and in particular, the east side of the lake. So the headlines, I think almost everybody knows about now. Dallas ISD is closed indefinitely, and there really is no date that we know of yet as to whether and when we can reopen this school year. We are closed indefinitely until further notice. The STAR tests have been canceled. All of our employees will remain on the payroll and receive their regular pay. But this is not a long spring break or any kind of vacation. We have these huge challenges, and the biggest challenges include remote learning. And our employees are asked to be available to do teaching and learning and other support functions. And our kids and their parents are asked to help make remote learning a reality. Those are the big headlines. We have issues of food distribution. Mm-hmm. I think you're well aware of the fact that 90% of our kids are economically disadvantaged. Mm-hmm. So we will be opening starting next Monday, approximately 50 middle schools and high schools for the sole purpose of allowing kids and their families to grab and go meals. And the meals will be on for 3 days. You can pick up the 3-day supply of breakfast and lunch between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays. And the middle schools and high schools that are participating in our area include Bryan Adams High School, Hill Middle School, and Gaston Middle School. And for those a little bit west of us, Tasby Middle School and Conrad High School. But it is almost all of the middle schools and high schools for the area immediately to our west on the other side of the lake. The pickup point would be at Lang Middle School.
Okay, so so what you're essentially saying is that like if a family needs a meal, do they have to sign up, or do they just get in line, or how does that work?
They should show up with their ID card, their student ID card, and if they don't have one, the student ID number.
Okay, so either the ID
minimize
or the ID number. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. And how long do y'all anticipate this program lasting?
Well, this meal program should last as long as the schools are closed. And we are also conscious of the fact that we may need to be figuring out ways to deliver food to some of the families. The selection of the middle schools and the high schools was based on the concept that those schools are pretty much centrally located to the schools that feed into them. But we're looking at food delivery options. Don't have a plan in place yet for that, but we do understand that there is a need in certain cases to be able to deliver food to families.
I guess the good thing on the district side is y'all have a bunch of employees that you're going to try to keep on the payroll. So, some of the day-to-day activities that some of these employees, like bus drivers and folks who would be like staff positions, can they be kind of moved into some of these auxiliary roles to help pull off this endeavor? Because I mean, DISD's never done anything like this before, right? I mean, obviously we've never shut down for this long. So are y'all planning on keeping staff like re-engaged in just different aspects of this plan?
Yes, absolutely. As I said earlier, this is not a vacation for anybody.
Right.
We are, and we have the best employees in the world. They've risen to challenges before with the Ebola crisis and the tornado, and then the just day-to-day challenges of having a district with 90% of our kids being economically disadvantaged. So we have great confidence that our employees will again rise to the challenge. And the community has always risen to the challenge as well to support us.
Right, definitely.
So employees will be asked to take part in helping to teach and learn, to teach remotely. So they help kids learn remotely. We will have some creative things to look at. Superintendent Hinojosa mentioned yesterday that we do have a lot of kids who do not have access to the internet. Right. And while we can supply the devices, if the kids don't have the access to the internet, then the devices are only marginal utility. So right. One of the things he suggested was whether we can use our buses to create more hotspots so that kids can access the internet, at least to pull down their lessons. And of course, we are certainly hopeful that some of the business community members will consider making hotspots available to the district as well.
Yeah, that would be an incredible it's some incredible innovation there to be able to like use resources that you already have and help partner with the business community to pull off something of that feat. I know like this is one of the issues that we have in the city of Dallas. Like in Baltimore, they have universal Wi-Fi really throughout the city, right? But here in Dallas, we don't have that. And so, yeah, some of these kids having access to the internet or being in homes, right, where there may be one device, but there are 3 or 4 kids, or the parents need it for work, or I mean, it's going to be a challenge, no doubt. But it sounds like y'all are already starting to think of some creative solutions on that front.
Yeah, and I have to applaud Superintendent Hinojosa and his leadership team for really tackling these major issues in a very short period of time. All the details have out, obviously, and there are some issues that still need to be addressed. But I do feel like we're on the right track to make sure that learning continues and that we're still able to make sure that our kids have the nutrition they need.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes back to the very beginning of like, how do kids perform best in the classroom? They're well fed and well rested, right? And until they're well fed and well rested, there's going to be always a lag. So I really am grateful that DISD is stepping up to address this huge gap in a hot meal or meals for kids, and making sure that kids get what they need to sustain themselves through this weird time that we're in. In terms, you said no STAR testing, right? So the state is not going to be testing students on that side of things.
Correct.
And what about advancement? Have you all started having conversations about what this looks like in terms of like graduation and like kids advancing on into the next grade and things of that nature?
Yes, I think what the administration has sort of laid out as a guiding principle is that no student should be adversely affected by this kind of situation that is beyond their control. Mm-hmm. So all of those details haven't been worked out, but that guiding philosophy is there. And we of course want to make sure that our kids are learning as much as they possibly can in this situation.
Right.
I would like to add.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if we were transitioning to another topic, I wanted to make sure that I emphasized the importance of washing hands for 20 seconds under hot water, and using hand sanitizer, and maintaining social distance. This is the most important thing that we can do during this period of time, is to make sure that we contain the spread of this virus.
Right. I mean, this is why we're doing all this, right? This is why DISD is going to this model, and this is why we see businesses shutting down And really, I mean, it is to prevent the spread, right? And so if we can flatten the curve here in Dallas County, which I will say, as a citizen of Dallas, I read national news and I can get pretty anxious about the state of our country and world. I will say one of the comforting things for me, and this isn't, I'm not blowing smoke here, is that Dallas County, DISD, the city of Dallas, we've all dealt with the Ebola crisis. We've dealt with things of this nature before, and it's nice to have elected officials that that I think are taking it really seriously, regardless of how we perceive the federal government or the state taking care of it. I have a lot of faith in our elected officials here in Dallas, and I'm really grateful that the county is taking these steps to try to limit exposure, because I think it's important, and I think Dallas County is ahead of the curve on a lot of this. And it's just, as a citizen of the city and of the county, I'm grateful for all the work that our elected officials have put into this. We're taking it seriously, and it shows.
Well, I appreciate that. I share your confidence and gratitude, and I would just extend that to the 22,000 employees of Dallas ISD who deal with very significant challenges every day.
Right.
They are up to the task.
And I hope some way, as we push through this, I know spending time at home with my 2-year-old is already proving to be exhausting. I hope that we can all agree that as we embark on teaching our own kids for 8 weeks, maybe we can get to a place where we can finally agree that teachers deserve a significant pay raise, because the work that they're doing day in and day out, we're about to see firsthand. And it is nothing short of remarkable. Our public school teachers are incredible, and I think we can all agree that they probably deserve to be paid as well as anyone in our society.
Yeah, yes, they do take on the most important work, and it's a calling. There's a lot of missionary work in a lot of what our teachers do, and
right, it's a vocation, right?
Couldn't be more proud of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can you explain, or maybe, I think maybe a good place to end would be, what do you see the needs are of the school system, and particularly neighborhood schools, and how can the community kind of rally around DISD and kind of help where there may be a need? And are you aware of anything that churches or neighborhood groups or neighborhoods can do, PTAs can do, to support the work of DISD in this time?
Well, yeah, there are a couple of things, and I can send this to you so that you can circulate it
Right.
more widely. But one of the things is the food insecurity problem that we have. Even before this virus crisis that we're dealing with, we have a lot of kids get almost all of their meals from the schools, and some that unfortunately have limited food on the weekends. So there are multiple backpack programs, which obviously I know you're aware of.
Right.
But one of the things that people can do to help is to work with us on the food insecurity issue.
Right.
And what the Dallas ISD Community and Partnerships Department has said works the best under these kinds of circumstances is gift cards. Gift cards that can be used to purchase food. The principals and teachers in the schools know who the neediest families are, and if people would send the gift cards to Dallas ISD, they will be then distributed to the most needy families. And I've got some details on this that, like I said, I would send to you that
great.
you can circulate or post them.
Yeah, I guess this is probably going to be the channel or the conduit in which we who maybe have enough in this time can really benefit others. Is gift cards are probably the perfect way to promote social distancing and not be person to person in the midst of this, but also we can supply some acts of mercy and grace in the midst of all this as we distribute money into the hands of families who need them, especially hourly employees that may be losing their jobs or already have. Those households that depend on parents working 2 jobs to try to get by. I mean, this is going to be a critical thing for us as a community to rally around these families that we rely on to really make sure all our systems are going all the time in the food industry or public transportation or whatever it be. We've got to make sure that we support them. And so you're saying gift cards directly to DISD or to the schools that we're already in partnership with, or how is that best handled?
Well, it's best handled to send it to the volunteer and partnership department at Dallas ISD.
Okay.
And
Great.
I can give you the address and everything, but mailing those cards there will be a way to where they can be distributed to the families that have the most need.
And then I guess the other thing is to practice social distancing, to actually take this seriously and do what we're being asked to do by our city, our school district, and our county, so that we can get these kids back into the classroom as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we said at the top of this video, this is so unprecedented.
Right.
And we really need everybody to take it seriously. It's going to affect a wide range of people, but if we can flatten the curve, our healthcare system can manage it.
Yeah, I think so. And we've got great hospitals in Dallas. So I know that the medical professionals that are going to be hit with this are some of the best in the country. And so I sleep a little better at night knowing that I live in Dallas. And I'm grateful, Dan, for your leadership, for the ways that you've been instrumental in bringing our area of DISD back. You've done an incredible job on that front. I hope and pray that we continue, White Rock at least continues to be big supporters of DISD, and we will make sure that we do all we can to support our public schools, our public school teachers, and most importantly, the kids that are in the classroom. So Dan, thank you so much for the time. I know that you're probably very busy and you're having a lot of Zoom calls. So thanks for taking a few minutes with me on a Thursday afternoon.
Thank you. Your help's been invaluable and I really appreciate it.
We'll talk soon. Let me know if you need anything, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.